All right. Let's see if it's working. Check it on here first. It's working. Yep. Sweet. All right. Twitter's working. So hopefully that means YouTube is working as well. It's starting to rain a little bit harder out here, so don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here. Might have to move this party inside. Alright, so let me send it out in Discord. What's up, Peakbot? I'm sending the announcement on Discord so people know I'm live. If everyone on the stream can please like and retweet the stream, just let people know that it's live. And as always, this is recorded, so the ones that can't attend it live, they can watch it afterwards, hence why I like people to retweet it for me. Peakbot, I just made my watch list earlier for a Peakbot for the wheel and for the trend spread. So I got, I think, 8 on trend and 4 on the wheel. So looking to get 12 credit spreads open up this week with Peakbot. Shout out Peakbot. If you want to get automated trading in your pocket, use Peakbot for credit spreads. Get knowledgeable on credit spreads first. Figure out, know what those things are, and then once you do, sign up for Peakbot. You can go to my Discord and get the link. You get 50% off as well. Use my code. This is my name, Casey Trades. You good? You going in? All right. Rain's picking up a little bit out here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. Obviously, the same 3, as always, SPY, QQ, IWM. The other 3 that I'm going to be looking at real quick and sharing my charts and ideas on are NVIDIA, Amazon, and Google. So those will be the 6. So obviously, first starting off with SPY. SPY's got a nice little, W forming. 515 area held up very nicely. There's still a little bit more of the gap to fill on the daily above 537. So above 537 should get closer to 539.50, 540 cycle level to close that gap. 538.50 currently is where the daily 21 EMA is at and this previous daily low, so I could expect it to get smacked there. I mean, if you ignore all my freaking lines that are everywhere on here, we are getting higher highs and higher lows, but if you notice, like right here, where the dailies crossed to the upside and it made that next higher high, that's when the drop came. The EMAs have just crossed now to the upside, so it almost makes sense for SPY to come back up here to this resistance 537.80, and the 200 EMA is up there around the 539 area. So, I mean, if SPY starts to break above 535 and hold that level as support now, I'll look to get long above 535 on SPY to take it up to fill that gap closer to 539.50, 540. If I miss it, then I'm not going to chase it. But once it gets up there to that 539.50 and 540 area, that's going to be where I short SPY. Giant head and shoulders played out perfectly. So enters into the gap here. So 534.50, that'll be my call trigger for SPY. If it breaks and hold above that, take it to these three levels here: 536.30, 537.30, and then 539.65. The gap is, I believe, right around there. So that would be full target, that and the 540 psych level. So 534.50, I'll look to take it up to fill that gap at 540. To the downside, my put trigger is going to be 528.50. So call trigger on SPY 534.50, put trigger 528.50. SPY's currently at 533, so nice little range just right above and below. Put us in a little neutral area. Oh, the rain's starting to pick up. All right. Next is QQQ. Let me screenshot this. All right, next is QQQ. And obviously I got my support, so this is going to be my put trigger. That bottom support breaks 444.5. And I already have my resistance, which means up here is going to be my call trigger. So this was easy. 453.6. So put trigger on QQQ, 444.5. Call trigger is 453.6. Not seeing any squeezes currently. Closed just above the daily 9 EMA, same with SPY, and its gap is up to 456. A very similar thing on the 4-hour. 9 and 21 EMA just crossed, but going up into that resistance hourly. That resistance is lining up perfectly with this purple line, which is the 200 EMA, and I love playing that on the hourly and 4-hour for targets. So I can expect a pretty good rejection there initially. So with these triggers, depending on where the market's at, you just got to be able to read the price action and the flow and everything. But once it gets up to that area, my first instinct by that time, if I'm not already in calls or in a long position, I'm actually going to look to short it first at the resistance. My stop is obviously right there. If it breaks and holds above it, then I'll get out of the short. But it's better risk to reward to short it there and take it down here. Until, like I said, if it breaks and holds above it and does an SR flip and makes a support, that's what I'm looking for to go to the call trigger. So those are the two on QQQ. After that is IWM. IWM's in a squeeze on the 4-hour, trying to go to the upside, and I have this big resistance already on here. Daily, there's a big gap to fill to the upside. Looks like a little bit of a hangman there. So I already have my clear resistance, but this pre-market right here looks a little bit better. 208.50. 200 level is going to be a full target for downside, but in 204.65. So call trigger 208.60, put trigger 204.60 on IWM. I'm going to draw this trend line here as well, because potentially what's going to happen on IWM is if it rejects here, and then like I said, when it comes up to this area or whatever, it might open up green. If it does push up here, hits it, when it comes down here, take it back up and then make new highs potentially. So trend line test, and it might line up with that 204.65. So initially look to take calls off of here. If it breaks and holds underneath of it and does that SR flip, then that's where I take the shorts right there, and then take it down to the $200 psych level, and then 197 area. So 208.60 and 204.60 on IWM. Let me get QQQ on here as well. Get that screenshot. All right, NVIDIA, real quick. NVIDIA's in a squeeze on the 4-hour. Currently trying to go upside. It is coiled here. Daily closed a hangman underneath the daily 9 EMA, so I don't like that. What's the price at for that? 106. This right here is going to be the resistance on NVIDIA. That's going to be my support. It's around $100 psych level. So this is going to be my resistance. And look, like I said, the hourly 200 EMA, I freaking love when it lines up like that. So NVIDIA hits between 107 and 108. First thing I'm going to do is try a short for that resistance here, and then take it down to these levels. Support's going to be $100 psych level, so I'll look to go long off there and get calls and take it back to the upside. If it breaks and hold under 100, then that's when I go and flip short. And then same thing, I'm actually going to draw this trend line and see how this lines up. So potential trend line break and $100 psych level break on the retest right there. I'll short it and then take it down potentially. So 108 call trigger once the resistance is broken. But initially, again, we'll look to go short. Just got to be able to read the price action of the market at that time if it's strong. And then $100 at the bottom is support. After NVIDIA, Amazon. Amazon's in a weekly squeeze. So the thing I like about Amazon here on the daily is look where the 9 EMA and the 200 EMA are at. They're literally about 10 cents from each other. And that's going to line up with where this gap is at, that it's going to try to fill to the upside. So 169.60. Let me mark this right here. That's going to be the big resistance there. And I can already see right here, that's going to be the support. So let me drop it down to the 5. Yeah, that lines up almost perfectly. So So this is my resistance, and again, I'm going to look to initially go short off of here. So 168.70 to 169.60. Support is 162.60 to 163 area. I'll look to initially go long there, and if it breaks under that, that's when I go short. If it breaks and holds above 169.60, probably 170 psych level area, on that break and retest, that SR flip, I'll look to go long. But I really like how that daily's lining up right there at the top of that area as it approaches that 170 psych level. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and mark 170. That way I know it's just right there above it. So yeah, as it approaches right up here in this area, I'll look to get next week puts like 165 or 160. 2-3 area down here. See if I can get something in the money. Probably 165 is most likely though. So that'll be a really good rejection spot on Amazon. But if it is showing strength and it does break and hold above that, then obviously I'll play into the strength, get the calls on the SR flip. But under 163, 162.6, I will go short. And last but not least is Google. Ooh, lightning and thunder. Google on a 4-hour squeeze as well, currently going upside. Big resistance right above 164.50. Big support at 169 to 160. Area down here. 159 there. To 160, most likely. Where's it at? There it is. Maybe closer to 165. Yeah, so there's that gap to fill there. So if Amazon starts to break above 165, it's got a quick gap to fill up to 166. Starts to break under 160, 159 area, I'll look to get puts and take it downside. But I mean, this could just be a giant bear flag. I wouldn't exclude that out of here. So yeah, if it starts to break under 159 here on the daily and 4-hour, I mean, it can get pretty ugly. Full target be 155. There's another spot right there. What's that? 157. There it is. What's that? 153.4. So the daily 9, this is the big spot right here. So that's going to be where I short Google. Entering into this resistance. Daily 9 EMA. So that's lining up at 164.50. So that's where I'll look to initially get a really good rejection potentially on Google for a short. Now, if Google, again, breaks and holds above 165, then 168.45, and then up to the daily 21 EMA, honestly, wherever that's next. Right now it's sitting about 170, so that kind of makes sense. Take it up to 170 area, so let me drop it down to the 5 real quick. See where this line's at. Take this arrow off. So there it is. So 150, 160, 159, if that area gets lost on Google, looks like it's to the downside. Initially, when it comes back down, just like it did here, it came back down, it retested it. It got the really big move on Friday session all the way back up here. So why not, if it retested area again, would I not want to think about getting into calls? Risk reward, getting calls down here is better. And obviously until we see the SR flip to go short. So comes down to 160, 159. I will get calls on Google. I really like the resistance play. I would have honestly started a probably month out position, or maybe at least two to 4 weeks out of some puts on Google. Would have been a decent swing because it hit the top of that zone and it closed right under it. So could potentially get a starter position and scale in and average more in on Monday or Tuesday session. But as it gets up here again to 163.9 to 164.9, so just that dollar area near 164, 165, I'm going to look to short Google big time off that resistance, probably closest to 165 entries I can get, and take it back down here to 160 area. Those are the puts that I'm going to get, most likely either 5 DT, I'll get them for Friday expiration, or I'll get them for next Monday or next Friday expiration. It really just depends on how the chart and everything starts to go out, but initially look to get 5 to 7 DTE contracts, and I'll get the 160s to take them down here and get them back in the money. So let me screenshot this. Again, if everybody can please like and retweet the stream, because I'm going to close it up because the rain's picking up. Got storm going on behind me. So SPY, QQQ, IWM, NVIDIA, Amazon, and Google. Those are the 6 main names on watch. Futures is open, right? How is gold looking? I mean, it's looking decent. Little bull pennant right here, so that's nice. Hourly looks good. It's in a squeeze. Bearish divergence to the downside. It is approaching resistance here. I believe I have Peakbot executing a credit spread on GS, Goldman Sachs, this week. I will have to recheck. I know I was looking at it. I really liked it on the 4-hour and the daily. Had a really, really nice bounce, just reclaimed above the daily 9 EMA after breaking, doing a nice retest and hold and push back higher. So I really like GS here. Oh, look at that. That lined up perfectly. That was quick. That's going to be the big spot right here. It's the bottom of that zone. It's 483 down to 480. I like as support. Get a nice call entry to get in on this trend. So, yeah, coming down here and retesting 483 in this trend line. Initially, I'll look to go long. It rejects, comes down here, take it back up to 491. If it starts to break above 496, that'll be a really, really nice call trigger area when it does an SR flip there. But if it does break under 480, that would be my put trigger. So let me screenshot this as well. Sharky, I've just finished up. You missed it, Sharky. You just got home. So that's it. A screenshot of these charts. I'm going to send them out here in the Discord in just a minute. So again, SPY, QQQ, IWM, NVIDIA, Amazon, Google, and then Goldman Sachs right here as well. So I believe we have some good data coming out this week. So one last time for SPY, just because I saw someone was mentioning. 534.5 will be my call trigger, but initial resistance. There is a gap to fill above. Full target upside is 539.6. My put trigger is 528.50. When SPY starts to break and hold under that, my full target on that is going to be 524. So that's it for me, guys. Let's have a great week of trading in the Discord, and I will see you guys on Spaces with Wolf Financial tomorrow morning. Y'all have a good night.